All right, there we are. Good evening, everyone.
Sorry that we're so late, everybody.
I was actually really ahead.
I skipped off. I was doing like housework all day, and when it came time to do the stream, I was all out of sorts. So I apologize.
No. Well, I kind of got set up for the stream a little earlier today because I was kind of excited for it because, well, several reasons. I mean, not only am I kind of excited to get into Ape Escape 2 because I loved Ape Escape 1 so much, but also I kind of discovered, I guess, a new way to deal with 480i stuff this week.
A combination of devices that you're hoping might make an improvement to what we currently do.
Right. Last weekend, I just kind of got the bug to see, is there anything I can do to make my 480i capture situation better? I get that bug every once in a while, and I always run into a brick wall. And I was running into a brick wall, and I thought, you know what? Let's go back to the basics. Let's go back to the old Hazard City website where it all began, right? Mm-hmm. You know, that was where we learned about the FrameMeister and all this stuff, because over there is just tons of information about all of these older, like deinterlacers, upscalers, line doublers, things like that. A lot that are analog input and analog output. And I was reading about the DVDO iScan Pro, which takes composite S-video or component input and then outputs over a D-sub VGA style port, either RGB over VGA or YPBPR, which you can use like those output cables that you use with like a Mr. Analog NT, Analog DAC. Or I found out you can just use a straight VGA cable and put it into the VGA input on the OSSC, hit 0 on the remote, and that puts that input into YPBPR mode. So don't have to do any like color conversion or anything. And so basically I'm using that to, all it does is deinterlace. And I'm just using that to feed the OSSC an already deinterlaced image. So it just does the 480p to 960p. And I'm pretty happy with it so far.
Looks really good.
Yeah, 480p always does. Of course, you know, there's deinterlacing errors are inevitable, I think, but just about no matter what you do. And especially with like 60 frames per second games, I think there's just not enough picture information to totally reconstruct it. But I mean, the FrameMeister has errors like that too. I haven't done like a lot of like one-to-one comparing FrameMeister deinterlacing and this DVDO deinterlacing, but they are very much in the same ballpark. And then you don't have like the noise that the FrameMeister has with the OSSC. So I think overall I think I'm going to be really happy with this situation. And I was like, well, I want to play a game that utilizes that.
Right. I mean, it's worth saying though that, I mean, it's going to be, it's just for capture because some lag is introduced in that chain.
That is true.
It is just for capture. It's not ideal for playing.
Right. I mean, yeah. Because right now I'm playing on a PVM, but on the Hazard City website, it said there might be like 2-ish frames of lag. I don't have a good way to test that right now, but we'll see. I mean, but it doesn't really matter because it's just capture. So,
and we're also, I mean, you worked on another little project today that we're going to see here in a second.
Oh yeah. I mean, this wasn't a big project.
But it's a little something.
But
different.
There we go. I made the game window bigger.
Yeah.
For 4.3 anyway. So there you have that. That is what I did here was I scaled it so that 960p, like that is just 960p unscaled within this 1080p output frame. So I size the PVM frame so that it's just the right size to frame up the game window. So I don't have to scale the game window at all. So, or the game capture at all. So that...
Which make we'll just give it a little bit more.
Hopefully a little bit more clarity, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a stream, you know, so, I mean, there's only so much, but, yeah, so. Anyway, I played through I just did the opening cutscene, so, ahead of time, so, now I'm going to play. The setup seems very similar to the first game.
Twisted Metroid is saying, doesn't this game have widescreen support?
It does.
But you wanted to use it.
But I didn't.
I really like this layout, though. I feel like it's.
You like what?
I like the new layout. I mean, I think that it's more space optimized.
Yeah.
It loses the table in the background, but you know, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
This game actually has a little bit of screen tearing, so I bet it's worse in 16:9 mode.
Yeah. Chris Leon is asking, I was wondering what your thoughts are on using PS2 component cables on a CRT and playing PS1 games on it.
I think that's a fantastic.
I think that's like a great.
Oh yeah.
So the main downfall right now is you're gonna have to reorganize how the pop-ups happen.
Oh, I moved it, but I wasn't sure if it.
It's like directly in the middle of your screen, but I mean, in the middle of the gameplay screen.
I know, but like, I mean, that was just an experiment. That was just I wasn't sure about it, so I put that there, but I wasn't sure if that was. I was afraid that if I put it over like where it had been, it would maybe be too small. I don't know.
Okay,
I missed that one, so we'll have to see how it looks.
Right, I think that's okay. I'm personally, I mean. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I feel like the ticker could be. I mean, the ticker is small, but that's okay. But in terms of the component cables on the PS2 for PS1 games, I think that is a great use.
Oh yeah. I mean, certainly more accessible to the average person than using RGB cables. I mean, unless you live in Europe or something. But I mean, there are compatibility issues with PS1 on PS2, but for the most part, games are indistinguishable, I would say, between PS1 and PS2. So, but there are, minor things, but I always have to go on a hunt to find them. So what's really funny about this is that the main character's voice actress is the same as Ash Ketchum, and this girl's voice actress is the same as Misty.
Oh, really?
And the main character literally just sounds like Ash. It's been so long since I've seen Pokemon, though, that I don't remember what Misty sounds like, but it's pretty funny.
This has been our new home since you blasted the lab.
She was in the first game, but this character's... I read the manual. This character's name is Jimmy, and he is Spike's cousin. Spike was the main character in the first game.
Oh, okay.
I had to build it out of the remains of my own room. Use the warp machine at the front to go and catch monkeys.
What's also weird about this game is that
Really useful.
in North America, it was published by Ubisoft.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
We had $1.99 from our good friend Paul Sutton.
Oh, thank you.
Who says, you can do it, Ace. Encouragement.
Here
It's
you can
always
save your
appreciated.
game data.
That's a pretty nice looking PS2 there. Look at that.
Anytime you want to have a break, be sure to save your game.
Oh yeah. Is this pricey? This game?
I want to say I got 2 and 3 for like $20 or $25. So they aren't like cheap PS2 games, but they're not expensive.
Yeah. So yeah, the way it pops up in the middle of the screen, can you make the pop-up appear like over top of your controls? your controls like on your PBM image there?
Sure. I mean, that's where it was before, but I was just unsure.
I think it'd be okay to be over there.
Okay, hang on.
I mean, that's ideal actually.
I might have to resize it. I don't know. Let's see how.
I feel like
Let's try that and let me know if it's too small. Looks like we're going to be finding out pretty soon here.
Yeah, we got a $2 from Jonathan G, saying, "How do you choose which game to stream each week?" Whatever we feel like playing, really. Sometimes we choose last minute. Sometimes we choose like a couple of days before. I mean, there's no real rhyme or reason, except for last week. I mean, I knew we were gonna play Street the Rage. That looks okay. Can you make it a little bit higher though? Just so it's more towards the middle. Maybe what I need to do is make it so it has some sort of background to it.
Yeah, hang on. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like really last minute. Sometimes usually I decide the day of. I kind of decide this last night. Yeah. I was just like, oh, I want to do that.
I mean, sometimes it's very last minute. It's hard to judge the quality of this, I think. I'm looking at it. And I mean...
You mean judge the quality of the interlace?
Of the combination of the stream, of the game capture. But I mean, I can integrate it into my setup, because it's funny, because I actually had one of these IceCam Pros for a long time. Like, I've had it, and I used it on my 3DO for a while.
Yeah. And I had no idea. I just was doing research and was like, oh, hey, that sounds like the ticket. So I bought it.
Yeah.
Or I got brand new on eBay for $60. And I think it was more like $1,000 device back in the day.
Which is crazy, because it's very small, really. I mean, not that it needs to be huge or anything.
I don't know if it was that much, but on the website, it said it was one of the first to break the sub $1,000 threshold.
To equip a gadget, you can open the gadget. Move the cursor to the gadget you want to.
I don't really need to pay that much attention to these tutorials, because so far it's very similar to the first.
So apparently this game can be used, Ape Quest can be used to jailbreak the Vita.
Which Ape Escape?
The Vita game, Ape Quest.
See, there's a lot of side games that I don't know a lot about.
Oh, you can switch gadgets by pressing the button again. No need to use the menu.
Wait. You can switch gadgets by pressing the button again? What do you mean?
I don't know. That's what Marcus H is saying. I.e. square twice. Press square twice.
What do you mean press square twice?
That's what he's saying. You can switch gadgets by pressing the button again. No need to use the menu. I.e. square twice. You press it twice really quick.
I'm pressing it twice. I feel I'm lost by what you're trying to say, I think.
This is on PS2. It's on original hardware.
Use the R1 or R2. Move the left when you want to jump down.
It is not the 50 hertz playthrough PS2 emulator for PS4.
Oh, yeah. Marcus was referring to the third game. But you were telling me you didn't even know there was a third one.
I didn't even know there was a third game until you said that you had it. For de-interlacing, he's using the DVDO iScan Pro.
Feeding the OSSC.
Which is feeding out to the OS, which is feeding 40p to the OSSC, which is then doubling to 960p.
So there's money in this, which was not a thing. And see, I've got 45 money. It looks like money anyway.
The third game is all about underwear, apparently.
I mean, I guess I could believe it. Apparently, the reason all this happened was we were delivering some. We were supposed to be teleporting a bunch of pants to the monkey park, and we accidentally teleported pants and monkey helmets, which got Spectre, the mastermind monkey, all smart again. So it's all happening again.
Nice job.
Which one is considered the best? The first one?
I get the impression it's like maybe the third, but I'm not really sure if there's a widespread consensus on that. Yeah, that's a pretty nice looking entertainment center right there for 2002, 2003.
That device over there, for 10 gold coins, you can get yourself a cool item.
Ooh, I want
Items
cool
that you win
items.
here can be viewed at the mini game corner
The
and
gotcha
entertainment
box.
center.
I think it's hilarious too that like it's Ash Ketchum's voice, and it's a game about catching stuff.
Yeah.
What do I do here? Okay.
So did you get a chance to watch the any little bits and pieces of the stream that I did with Chris the other night?
I saw the very beginning of it, but that was all I saw.
I see. Well, I mean, like the setup was actually pretty cool. Like it looked good. The quality was good on the magazine. I did well, we did half of a magazine read through over on the Twitch channel with I did it with Chris from Classic Gaming Quarterly. I think it was Wednesday we did it. We streamed. It's almost embarrassing to say that we streamed for over 4 hours and we only made it through half the magazine.
Did you play some of the games on the Mister? Like
Yeah, I would play, and I would switch over and play some of the games, but I only did that like
Internet is used to help you
3 or
swim.
4 times.
You'll be swimming like a fish if you practice in the trainer. Do you want to go to the gadget trainer now?
Sure. I forget how swimming works.
But it was fun. I mean, I guess we can just talk. We just talk away, I guess.
When you go underwater, you'll use the left analog. First try swimming swim to the surface of the water.
But I mean, we're gonna finish up the other half. Maybe sometime this week we can do it.
The water net is also press the R3 button. Make sure your aim is accurate.
Brutes McGee is saying that The vending machine is so addictive in this game. You'll want to get everything out of it.
Can it start to do repeats later? Oh, I just got some money, I guess. Is there something more here?
But if you want to watch that stream, you can do so by going to the live stream archive playlist that's on the front page of the channel. I added it on there. But it's a lot more casual than our Sunday night streams. Not that our Sunday nights adhere to a very strict kind of feeling, but I think that we try to make it just more like a lot more casual on the Twitch channel.
I think the underwater swimming mechanics might be slightly different.
So Marcus H is saying that the second one is he feels it's the worst one.
Oh,
of the three mainline games.
I've heard that it doesn't do a lot new compared to the first one. Like it's extremely similar so far.
We had a $2 donation from Jonathan Hinson, who's saying, MLiG Confessions. For more reasons than I have room to write, I play more on emulation FPGA than on real hardware. I'm still a believer. You know, you can play however you want to play.
That's right.
Whatever you like and whatever's more convenient.
I mean, we're just excited that all the different methods exist.
Yeah.
Because they're all going to be important in the long run.
Exactly.
I don't understand what the baby monkey is for.
This game is like gadget overload. The third game has Metal Gear Solid Snake Escape as a game within a game. Oh, does it have the whatever it is, the Ape Escape from Metal Gear Solid 3 actually in the third game as well? Like it's in both?
I knew there was like a crossover thing, but I never tried it. I mean, I didn't really know much about. I mean, I'd never played a. Well, I mean, I like briefly picked up a controller in a store one time. You know, wow.
Jack Green is wondering, what console do we think aged badly? I'd say Nintendo 64. Uh-oh, are you still there? Uh-oh, I don't hear anything. I do not hear you. Try your mic. Why is your mic is muted? The sound is off. There it is. What happened to the audio?
Weird.
Your mixer?
My mixer power cable was loose, I guess. I guess like it got like one. It drifted one atom out of alignment because I didn't touch it. All right, we're good.
We're good.
Okay.
I don't know if people said, or if people heard me say that I feel that the N64 aged badly.
That's such a cliche.
I know.
Such,
but you know what can I say? Like I don't
cliche.
think, I mean, I don't know. I don't really think about it in that way, I guess. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
all systems have their merits.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. I mean, as far as the ones that I played.
I mean, if anything,
I can't
you know,
offer any insight on the like on the CDI really.
if anything, like I would say maybe like in general games, a lot of games from, you know, this generation, PS2, GameCube, Xbox, especially because a lot of them have camera controls that are inverse of what we're used to these days.
Yes.
That can be a little problematic. This game, you know, you just do the Zelda style, you know, trigger to reset the camera. But you can use the D-pad, like I'm using the D-pad here, and it is, you know, it is reverse, which is, you know, I used to love that, but
And then there's no option to change it.
there's no, and most games in this generation don't give you options to change it.
Yes. And I do agree with that. I think that makes it hard for me to go back to certain things. I was just capturing some footage from Final Fantasy 12 today, and the camera controls were inverted.
Yeah, PS2 is a little hard
And
to go
there's
back.
no option to
PS2
change it.
version. I love that, you know, the Zodiac Age thankfully fixes that.
Oh.
Huh?
No, that was just I was just installing or updating my wife's old MacBook Pro laptop. It hadn't been used in a long time because she has a work one. Work provides her with a laptop, and that's like her main computer at this point. So she has like an old, like a late 2012 MacBook Pro that still can install the latest OS updates. So I'm just installing that.
2008?
No, 2012.
Oh.
And it was actually able. She has a 2011 iMac that was just like sitting in the closet here because the hard drive died in it. And I opened it up and swapped out the hard drive, and that's like doesn't seem like a big deal. But those ones in particular, like the 2011s, you have to like take off the screen. You're supposed to get these suction cups, but I was able to use some like duct tape in the corner to pull it off. And then you gotta remove the screen. It was kind of crazy, but I was able to fix it. It didn't take me very long.
Look at the Japanese subtitles on this archive footage.
So it's just a video file I was playing as.
Yeah, but it was from the first game.
Just keep talking. Jimmy will be there any moment to catch you.
What's the model for what? The MacBook Pro? I don't know. I was gonna put a new SSD in it, but the SSD that it has is like the ones that are like the little sticks. I don't have any of those around.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people have been playing the Wonderful 101
Oh yeah, I'm real curious because I haven't
Steam version.
I haven't been following it all. I'm really curious how it plays, like the part that we're gamepad only. Does it just switch to a first-person view, or how does that work now? Because that was always my least favorite part about playing Wonderful 101 on the Wii U, was like having to use the gamepad for specific parts when you go inside buildings.
The Super Hoop gadget gives a short burst of speed. First, rapidly when it's charged up, press the left analog. You'll zoom off and you can also damage enemies by slamming into them. Try it on those.
Use the analog stick for drawing stuff. It's a little bit odd at first. I wonder if the PS4 will use the touchpad.
again. Now, you'll speed.
Or if on Switch, you'll be able to use the touchscreen in handheld mode.
Looking good. Now I want you to try to clear an area.
What's the next video in the pipeline? So
Every time, or you won't learn
it should already be out, but I'm just like, I haven't had house stuff to do. And like, this is just like a totally separate thing. This is like not even something that I think that anyone's gonna even really care about that much. But we wanted to try like doing just a mini style video where we just like talk about a game, and we both like had a lot of thoughts on the Final Fantasy VII remake. So we just recorded us talking about it. I mean, it goes back and forth. It's just like a mini style conversation style. And I know that like that's not like what people like watched us for, but we've been having a lot of fun just playing through different games recently, and we want to occasionally just do mini style videos where we can talk about games that we play through. So I'm trying to get it like short enough, but it's still, I mean, it's the mini style, but that by no means that it's actually a miniature length.
Yeah.
I'm currently trying to see if I can possibly get it under an hour.
We talked for about 2.
Yes. I realize that it's a little bit late, and it's I mean, a lot of people have moved on from that, but I mean, it's just, I feel that it just like, I mean, lets people see like a different side of us.
Talking
And
about
also,
games.
Yeah, and we just
You can't just
feel that we've
walk up and catch them. You'll have to boost your speed to outrun
we deserve to give something like that a shot. So I mean, like, I wouldn't expect, like, we have several of those that we'd like to do. We're gonna shoot one on Trials of Mana, like this coming week. But those are stuff that they're by no means like taking the place of anything. Like they're meant to be quick. It's just that I understand that it's an hour long, so I don't want to just like slap only game footage over there. So I'm shooting like a little bit of B-roll and stuff like that. And really how it works out is that it's like half of it is like dedicated to our thoughts on like the story, how the story plays out, and the ending. Which, I mean, it's going to have spoilers, rampant spoilers. Colin Barron's donated $5. Thank you. He says, "Screw it if people have moved on. I want to hear your thoughts on the FF7 remake."
Well, thank you. I mean, yeah, I mean that's the funny thing about, you know, recent games, right? Like people move on from them so fast, whereas, you know, older stuff can be a little more timeless. So yeah, I mean, when we're also planning to do one on the Trials of Mana remake.
Right.
I finished that up yesterday. You finished it several days before I did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's not necessarily going to be games that just released or just remakes or anything. I mean, it could be whatever, but you know, we would like to do this sort of thing a bit more.
Yeah, and it's not something that is like meant to be like a major, like a pillar of the channel or anything. It's just a way for us to play through a game and use that time in interest of the channel as well. And you know, it's a lot of times we can only talk about hardware or specific aspects of a game, and sometimes we just want to try this. So we'll see how it goes.
Oh, so you can use the select button to immediately go to the gadget screen. That's nice.
So I mean, the beginning of it is the beginning of the episode talks about our history and when we first played the game and our thoughts on the stuff they on the first game, and also like around the whole compilation of Final Fantasy VII. So that required me to shoot like a little bit of extra stuff. But then once it gets into like the meat of it, you know, as everyone like who watches the show and knows, we are very, very anti jump cut. So I gotta cover every one of those little pauses that have removed. So right, exactly. JD Chambers, that's exactly what we're doing with this. You know, we can talk about old games, we can talk about new games. We just, I mean, the reason we started with Final Fantasy VII is because we're both big fans of the original, and we both had a lot of thoughts on the remake. I mean, it's still going to be edited. I mean, it's still heavily edited. I mean, at first we thought maybe it wouldn't have to require that much editing, but I just can't help myself.
Yeah, that's how it is.
I try to make it so that it moves, because we are going to be doing for future ones. We're going to have more of a format for it, but this was just more of a conversation, and then editing that conversation to progress naturally in a way that is easier to watch took a little while. Milos is saying, are you guys worried about tomorrow? What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Monday.
Yeah, is there something happening tomorrow?
The next Analog Frontiers, hopefully by the end of the month. I've had freelance projects and just various other things that have just kept me from focusing on it fully, but I think that should mostly be behind me this week. So I'm going to go for it and see how much I can get done. Oh, this looks like a boss.
Yeah, the stream died.
I mean, I've got red, but it's still showing bitrate going through.
Well, kid, you did good making it this far. Ever hear of the Freaky Monkey 5? Well,
Oh, now it's showing.
Is it back?
So I'm afraid that's what I gotta do.
Okay. It's okay, now it's showing.
I think it just hit a.
Yeah, I just hit refresh in it.
Yeah, I think it just had a trouble spot.
Well, you're definitely not a coward, are you? Hey, kid.
Yeah, I mean, is there something supposed to be happening tomorrow?
Well, I'll make sure you never forget.
Okay, now it should be fine.
Oh, okay. You don't want to go on down the red path. Whoa.
So maybe a handful of states are reopening tomorrow.
I mean, technically North Carolina did a very limited reopening Friday evening, but like there's only so much that's reopened. I thought, I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought North Carolina was behind a lot of other states, so.
Charlie Bailey is saying that he's had nothing but problems with a non-pro PS4 on a 4K TV. That seems weird.
I've had trouble with the PS4 Pro sending out a full or limited range RGB signal at 2160p. But it's fine.
The stream is like being real weird. Like it keeps on.
But it's fine if I set to YUV mode. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's still showing numbers going through.
Yeah, I mean,
it's red. Why do you say weird?
Because it's going to like the thumbnail.
Oh, I gotta catch them.
Like it said that it was live and went to the thumbnail.
Weird. Is that an ad? Is there an issue with ads or something?
I don't think so. No. I guess I'm saying video output low and then it comes back.
I mean, you know, I've gone through phases where my internet just doesn't like YouTube very much.
Yeah, it's like it keeps on.
Like I've got good,
upload.
You know, I've got good, you know, upload numbers. I did a speed test just before the stream. I've got my syncing and everything paused.
I mean, I thought about putting the unedited discussion on there. I don't know. I think it's just the way that I speak, and like sometimes I when I'm speaking in a conversation, I'm trying to get better with it and be conscious about it. But I tend to pause a lot when we're recording stuff like that, and I think that'd be insufferable to listen to the uncut conversation. I don't know why it happens. I mean, the only time it really hasn't happened, I feel like, is when we recorded like the Genesis Mini and the Super NES on the Switch. I don't know what it is. Like maybe I was just in a weird place. Like it's interesting. Like the frame rate on this keeps on like going smoothing out.
You mean the stream is going, but it's just dropping a lot?
No, it was good. It looked like it was just playing back really fast. Super high frame rate.
That's weird. I mean, is YouTube doing something new with how streaming works?
I don't know. And the webcam parts are fine. I don't know.
Do I need to try lowering the bitrate?
Let's just see if it happens again. It seems like it's okay. I mean, just the way his acting is really is pretty strange. Watching TV, but post on mobile. TV kicks me out to recommends. Mobile just pauses, but the chat keeps going. I mean, it's very bizarre behavior. But I don't think we had any problem last week when I was doing the when we played Streets of Rage.
Well, yeah, but remember, like, I've had issues in the past where just like when I streamed, like there was a long period of time where like you were the only one that really ever played. Remember? Because like streaming on YouTube was just like, but then it was fine. I think what I did was I exchanged my modem and router at Spectrum. I got a new one, and I mean, we're not dropping off a Discord, so I don't understand.
Right. I mean, it's weird. It just says Stream Health Live, and it's green, and it just like kicked me out to the recommends.
Well, let me lower the bitrate and start again.
But it doesn't seem like it's.
Well, I mean, regardless, like it sounds like it's unwatchable right now. So why don't I try something?
Okay.
Is that an OBS option?
No, it's a stream in the stream options on the page. On the YouTube page, it says it. You can do normal latency.
Where is it?
Says, right below the video window, there's the basic info, stream options, monetization, and cards.
Uh-huh.
If you click on stream options, you can choose between normal latency, low latency, and ultra low latency.
Okay.
So if you wanted to, you'd have to stop the stream and then switch it over to like low latency or.
Okay. Well, why don't we try that?